Steve Domenico in the Room Podcast with a very special guest. I have Billy Goff in the room, ready to talk about his next opportunity fighting for Cage Titans at Cage Titans 49, July 10th. Billy, man, welcome back to the room, brother. How you doing?
Doing great. It's beautiful weather out. Got a fight coming up. Hanging out on a Saturday. It's can't be better.
Nice, man. Well, that fight is a huge one. As we know, Cage Titans, their first card back after almost a year or so. How you feel about getting back on their card? I do believe this is your third or fourth time in their cage.
Fourth time. I've had a bad string of luck at Plymouth. I'm hoping to change that.
So you had, I think, a couple of amateur fights and a professional fight was the last time you were there, where you came away with a cut and the fight was ended that way, man. But since then, you've had a big win at Bellator. But let's get back to that time you were at Cage Titans, man. You were a pro then. How was your experience then? And, let's talk about what you learned from that fight up until now.
Well, so the fight only went one round. The doctor stopped it for the cut on my forehead after the first round and gave him the win, which is just whatever. It is what it is. Disappointed in my performance. He won that round, the first round. I think I could have won it because he was tired, but it's irrelevant. The biggest thing to take away from that fight and the previous fight too was just I wasn't in the right mind frame. I had some stuff going on in my outside life that was distracting me, and I wasn't training properly. It wasn't my head. I just didn't want to. My head wasn't fully in it. I was in two places at once, and it was just unhealthy. And now that I've gotten myself in a better position in my outside life, that I train a lot better. I'm training harder. I'm happier, healthier, and I'm eating meat now. So,
well, dude, a lot of things working out with you since them a couple of fights back then. You had that fight for Bellator back in December where you took out and destroyed one of the Gracie, family members there, man. One kind of a Bellator guy they were really had high hopes on, and you took him out with elbows and just in a devastating fashion, man. So it shows off the improvements and getting your head straight with that fight, man. What was changed as far as anything changed in that in the camp leading up to that fight?
So actually, yeah. So recently, we during COVID, we got a new jiu-jitsu coach. I just mentioned COVID. Cut that out. Within the last year, we have a new jiu-jitsu coach, and that's been huge. It's helped because I had a good ground game. I had wrestling. My Dexter was already teaching me a lot of jiu-jitsu stuff, but Dexter's not a jiu-jitsu guy. He's a wrestler who knows jiu-jitsu. So it was different, but to get a jiu-jitsu coach who has a jiu-jitsu mindset helped tremendously. Like when Hobson he kind of started entering into a leg lock territory at one point in the fight, and I just pulled my leg away. So having a coach who loves heel hooks, it's been a huge blessing. So that anybody who tries to go for him is like, all right, well, I already know how to defend this, and it's like I'm not going to fight anybody who's as good as my coach. So I have nothing to worry about.
Well, speaking of your coach, Dexter, man, he's doing wonderful things for you. Billy, since you were back in this room, I think you were 19 or something when you first, the second time I interviewed, you came in here with Coach Dexter, man. And he talked about, not taking gimme fights. You have not had an easy fight from your amateur to your pro career. That guy puts you and makes you ready for, the long haul and, these elite fighters that you're going to be facing down the line, man. Talk about what Dexter's been doing to you and how, you're only 22 years old, my man. Talk a little bit about what Dexter has done to you since, taking up MMA as a passion.
Well, so, I've wrestled for my whole life. I've played a ton of sports. I've had a lot of different coaches, and he's the coach that I've gotten closest with, like bonded with the most. He's, in a lot of ways, I listen to him like a father, just because I trust him, and no matter what, like he tells me to do something, I do it. Outside of everything I do outside of here, if I'm gonna go do this, go do that, I tell him like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Because I trust him a lot, and my life revolves around fighting, and he's kind of walking me through that. So I rely heavily on him and his guidance, and it's helped me grow up and be a better man through it. And just he's also a tough dude, so it's made me tougher to be around him. But we never take easy fights. Some fights are, it's like, okay, this opponent's better than this one. So, there's never an easy fight. You pick opponents, and it's like, all right, well, this one's better at this, and this one's better at that. So it's different challenges. But I leave everything, the opponents, I leave everything up to him. I'll fight. I'll always say yes. But the decision comes down to him at the end of the day. And he's pushed me in training and my teammates through just to grow as a fighter, like taking me other places, seeing other coaches, and we'll take something offline and we'll just break it down. And he does a lot. He cares a lot too. He'll go home and think about stuff, come back, and we'll work on it. So it's just been a pleasure to have him in my career.
Well, excellent, my man. Dude, as far as the Bellator fight, you had that in December. Came away with a great win. I do believe that's your second time fighting for them and second win for Bellator, right?
Yes, sir.
So you come off second win for Bellator. You had that freak loss where you got the cut. Man, were you expecting maybe to fight for Bellator again by the end of by this time, or were you searching other options other than Bellator?
So I wanted to fight for them again. I got offered one fight. I said yes, but he took somebody else. So that was the only fight I was able to get within the past few months, because they've had a few cards, and it's all been at Mohegan Sun. And if I could fight for Bellator Mohegan Sun versus anywhere else, can't ask for a better deal. They pay me well, and it's a big stage, so I'd always take them over it. But I'm not going to sit here and do nothing. So I don't know when their next card is. They weren't offering me a fight yet, so I just gotta stay busy, go somewhere else.
Well, there you go, man. As soon as you heard mass and they were opening up, and then all these cards are starting to the rumors are here that this card's happening, and a lot of promotions are posting that they're out there now and have fans. Did that kind of light the wick that, hey, I'm gonna get on one of these cards? Did you actually look around, or was it kind of like Cage Titans came looking for you?
No, so it was I knew they were gonna start it up. Reality, if Bellator didn't offer me anything soon, yeah, I would have gone and looked for something else. And I didn't think about fighting for Cage Titans on this card until you had mentioned something of fighting Sean Lally. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that all day. So I told my coach, and he was cool with it. And then Michael hit him up on the same day, I think. And I was like, oh, it works out perfect. It's something to do. It's better than sitting here. I've only got so many years to fight, so get as many fights in as I can.
So many years to fight. You're 22. You can probably fight in definitely another 10 years. But anyway.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So you mentioned Sean Lally, and the freak thing about that day was, Sean had put out that he was looking for a matchup because, there's some other matchups had fallen through. Sean was looking for a scrap. And that the posts were out there. I just sent the post, threw it at you, and all of a sudden Dexter and Mike are negotiating a fight here. How excited are you to actually go against Sean Lally, because he isn't going to go for any heel hooks in this fight?
So everybody brings something different to the table. Sean Lally's not really a wrestler or a grappler, which that's fine. The dude hits hard. You can't take that from him. And he's got a unique striking style. He doesn't strike like everybody else. So it's certainly some adjusting needs to be done for that. But he's big. He's fought at 185, so that's a challenge. He's a little taller than me. He's got longer reach. He's got to be strong. He's going to hit hard. So that's going to be the biggest thing for him. And it's also it's always good to fight in different scenarios. I don't like driving 2.5 hours to Plymouth, but it's good. All that stress added on top of everything else. they have a smaller cage, so all of that makes it a more difficult situation, which is it's just going to make me better in the long run. The only thing that I had when it comes to rank and like pushing my career forward, winning this I don't think would do as much for me as it would hope, just because he hasn't fought in a while. So I don't know how many people are going to watch him. How many people? Obviously, he's well known in the local area for they love him there. So I don't have as much to win other than the experience, the money, and obviously a win. So it's taken on a lot because obviously he's a tough dude. He's going to fight hard, and I won't get as much out of it as I would like when it comes to like building my name. Well, but he has been on Undisputed, which made me happy, because it's like, all right, so he's been on not Undisputed,
Contender Series. Yes.
Yeah, so he was on that, so that's good.
And you guys have something in common. He fought at Bellator against Cameron Lachinoff. You fought against Cameron at Reality, I do believe, for a title fight. So you guys do have some familiarity in there, fighting the same guys and, just going to war against some great talent out there. As far as, meeting him at Cage Titans, this is going to be the first card back with fans. You, on your last fight, was no fans. How excited are you to get back in there and fight in front of fans, even though the majority it will be Sean's fans?
So, I mean, that I love. I love it when it's just more pressure, and that just makes it more fun when the fans are not for me. I like being the underdog. I like being the person who everybody wants to lose, because it's just, all right, it's going to be even better when I win. I liked it when there was no crowd. It was a bit different. I could hear my coaches a lot easier, and it was a different atmosphere, but it wasn't a bad one. And having a crowd helps in some ways. There's advantages and disadvantages to everything. But it will be fun. Especially since I have 3 other teammates who are going to be fighting on the card too, so it'll be a big night. I think it'll be fun. I'm excited.
My God, you got a whole Groton, Connecticut family going down there, fighters, man. Good for you, brother. First card back.
4 knockouts.
Yeah, dude. The thing about Cage Titans, man, the show they put on, even though it's at a smaller scale, they make you feel like you're you're at that big level. And it is streamed on Flow Combat, I do believe. Billy, you talked about this fight maybe not giving you the boost or the notoriety because Sean's name's not that big, as you said, as far as out of New England. But you as far as to get bigger opportunities and maybe the UFC to look at you, you need these fights. You need more fights under your belt and a bigger record for the UFC to kind of come looking. Do you think that's accurate?
100%. Because if you look at him, he's 8-5, so he has 13 fights, and I've got 5, so he's got more than double the amount of fights that I've had, and he's been on the Contender Series. Look at Cameron. Cameron's 9-2 now, or 9-3, I forget, but now he's on the Ultimate Fighter. There's so absolutely, like, getting people to look at me, like, even if Bellator wanted to put me on the main card on live TV, and then they say my record, he's 4-2, 3-2, whatever it is at that time. It's like, people don't. If you're not knocking people out like crazy and you don't have a huge highlight reel, then you're not going to get somewhere quickly with a low record. So absolutely, it might not boost my name, but it makes my record look better. So that's absolutely true.
Exactly. And we don't predict this fight's going to end with a decision. This is potential for fight of the night all over it. This is going to be a banger because, as we know, you love to stand in the pocket and trade, and Sean is the same way. And, Sean has a lot of knockouts under his belt. You got some TKOs there and some highlights of your own, my man. So last thing, Billy, I mean, we got 4 weeks. I do believe 4 weeks out. So shout outs. There's a lot of time to get spot. Yeah, there's a lot of time to get sponsors and get a lot of people aboard, this train of yours. So shout it out, brother. Thank yous, social media, and anything else you want to say before I let you go.
Yeah, follow my Instagram, Billy Goff. It's you can watch my training camp from here on out. You can watch the rest of my career as I make it to the top. Follow my team's page, Team Dexter Valley Tudo, so you can see my whole team. You can watch them grow. I've got 3 other teammates fighting on this card. I've got Austin Shala, Jake Katsky, Randy Francis, and we're gonna come up there and we're gonna take 4 heads home. So it's gonna be a great night. If you guys can make it out there, you should, because it's gonna be fun.
Excellent, my man. Well, tickets are on sale now. I'm sure you got some in your hand to sell. You got a lot of backing, brother. I'm sure there's going to be, what, you don't have a lot?
No. I don't sell tickets for Cage Titans, man. I only sell them just in case if my friends like, hey, give me 4 tickets so they don't sell out. But no, it's 2.5 hour drive from where I am. I'm not selling tickets. I'll make $20 on the whole thing.
That's all right, man. Like you said, you're in it for the experience and to raise that record, man, and to put on a show, brother. So, dude, I'll see you on July 10th, man. I'll be there ringside, cage side, and, whether your hand's raised or not, man, we'll get a word after, all right?
Yeah, we'll hit a little bit after.
Well, one thing I know is Cage Titans. I don't think test for that, so that's good. We're good like that. All right, man. Smoke Fest 2021 coming at you on July 10th. All right, Billy Goff, man. Pleasure talking to you, brother, and we'll see you real soon, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care.